Hey everybody, we're going to do your full moon in Gemini reading for the collective. Thank you for being here today. Please take what resonates, leave the rest behind, and all the details you need to know are listed down below. So I thought that what we'd cover would be what's hidden that needs to be brought to the surface, what needs to be released, the focus moving forward, and then advice from spirit. And I'll probably get some light worker cards too for all of you healers and light workers out there. This moon's probably going to feel pretty heavy. And you're probably already feeling it right now if it is affecting you. And what it does is it takes all the things that we thought that we transmuted and healed from and brings the little crumbs of that, all the little residual energy that hasn't been released back up to the surface. And then we can set our new intentions moving forward, and it kind of clears the slate for a fresh start going into the new year. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So what is hidden that needs to be brought to the surface? 45, repairing the veil, forgiveness. Ooh, that's a deep one. Now, self-forgiveness is sometimes the hardest thing for a lot of people. For me, it's so much easier for me to forgive other people than it is for myself. Let's see what this kind of entails. What does this forgiveness entail that needs to be brought to the surface for the collective, please? Okay, there's some fear here, maybe about facing it and deserving. Okay. So that does kind of tie into the self-forgiveness. So maybe you went left whenever you should have went right, or you feel that you should have went right. There are no wrong turns here. Sometimes it feels that way if it delays our timeline, but usually it's all meant to be. We're meant to take that route so that we can learn some lessons or do some things that we're meant to do on our path before we get back on our fated one, right? It's still part of the fated path, but it's not like the end result, the end destination. So what does this entail here? This deserving. Okay. Thoughts, nostalgia, regrets of past actions. Yeah. Very hard to do. Guiding light, light at the end of the tunnel. So there could be some maybe stuffing it down, some suppressing it instead of transmuting it, thinking, well, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, I can't change the past. All of that is very well true, but they're saying there's like some limerence there of the fact of the decisions made. But now look, the Zen, acceptance, release of outcome, slow progress, creativity or new passions or pursuits, and then the poodle, ego, pride, or vanity. And fear is one of the biggest ego cards, right? I mean, or ego feelings, emotions, however you want to word that. And it gets in our way. So what is this person scared of? Where's the fear lie? 9 of Cups. Will I ever be that happy again? Will I ever feel that way again? Is the message kind of coming through? Queen of Cups, 2 of Cups, 8 of Cups, and 2 of Swords. Look at all these 2s, guys. It's crazy. That's exactly it. Someone either walked away from a situation or walked away from you, and it was a deep soulmate, good partnership, lots of love there. Queen of Cups. Probably the most love that you'd ever felt towards somebody or towards a situation. 2 of Cups can sometimes be just a partnership card. But there's some fear here that won't ever be found again, or that opportunity won't present itself again. And so some self-forgiveness needs to be in the mix. Let's get one of these cards as well. What else can you tell us, please, about what's hidden? Breathe. Yep, just breathe. Just breathe. Number 29, an unfinished symphony, number 10. So that would be the release of outcome, something, and it seems like it was very good, right? I mean, we don't have any bad cards except for that somebody walked away, and they could have walked away just due to the intensity. But when something feels unfinished, it's really hard to let that go, because we want to know all the details, the when, why, how, what could I have done, what could they have done, what if this would have happened, is it meant to be in the future, all of that. They're saying just let it go. Put it over to the divine and release it. It's all going to be fine. I am nosy though, and I want to see, why was this unfinished symphony unfinished? Or why was the symphony unfinished, I should say. Whoa, lots of things here. Okay. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay, we've got the Twin Flame, the Moon card, which is astral travel, 5D communication, downloads and dreams. The Ancestors, Banyan Tree, strong foundations and roots, and the Elephant, ignoring big issues and heavy burdens, and the World, closing out cycles. So this closed out was deeply rooted, especially if it was for those of you that resonate with the twin flame journey. If not, it was a deep soulmate, it was a deep connection. And once those are ended, if there's no toxicity here, if it was just bad timing, intensity, somebody ran from the connection, distance, logistics, whatever it is, it's hard to let go of that. It's hard to move on, release the outcome. What is the advice here, or what does this person need to do with this energy? Seven of Swords. So somebody ran, the Star, the Fool, and the Ten of Pentacles. So they're asking, and this is a tough one, right? Because if someone Seven of Swords you, this is my least favorite card next to the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords. If they Seven of Swords you, they ghosted, cheated, lied, ran away. I'm getting more of a ghosted, or the connection just disappeared, faded away, went silent, went stagnant for whatever reason. And they're saying it's time to heal that. That choice, it wasn't anything against you. It wasn't because you weren't deserving at all. And it's not that you don't deserve that going forward. They're trying to give it, just like manifest it and bring it in for you, but it will take a leap of faith going towards that Ten of Pentacles for yourself or outside of this situation. What needs to be released? Which card do I want to start with? Okay, let's start with this one. What needs to be released during the full moon in Gemini for the collective, please? Herald of Change and Fool's Embrace, Transmuting Pain, number 22. So the desire to fix the situation, this could be the same situation, it could be for something different. That's kind of crazy. The transmuting pain came out because it's like exactly what we said before. Suppressed versus transmute is totally kind of different, right? So it's time to finally release yourself from the pain of the past, in love, in life, in career, in all the decisions that we make that we think are wrong or bad or mistakes, when it's really just part of your story, and to make those changes going forward. See, this person is faced left and this person's faced right. So it's kind of like turning your back from the pain, like final release of the pain and moving forward. What does this involve? Sorry, my stomach's growling. Poised and chaos and conflict. 22 and 33 here. So lots of master numbers. So it's like moving on and releasing that conflict within yourself. If you have conflict actually going on in the 3D, it's saying release that as well. Remove yourself from the situation if you can. And then with poised, see, that's moving on into that new life. So I'm kind of shocked that didn't come out on focus going forward, because it's almost like they're priming you for this. Can we add to this, please? Change in direction, off course. See, if you fear that you've been off course, don't worry. You are in the right place. There are no wrong turns. Whoa. Okay. Lots of heavy stuff here. We've got the eye, intuition, gut instinct, the bones, digging up the past, buried feelings or emotions. Release, release, release. The ball's in their court. If you're waiting for somebody to return or to change, release that. Focus on self. They'll do their work. It's coming. Someone's trying to get your attention, so pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that came out with signs and synchronicities. And sometimes, especially in the private sector for the private readings, and this has happened to me personally too, when we are going through something and releasing something, we'll still see signs and syncs that tie us back to that person. And I've kind of learned the hard way that sometimes that particular sign and sync that I thought tied to that person actually tied to degrees in my astrological chart, or just saying you're on the right path, you're on the right track with what you're thinking about this right now. That type of thing to urge me to go forward and release. Like, yes, it is time to release this. But I thought since the synchronicities were all in my face, it was kind of a sign of wrong turn, wrong turn. And that's when intuition kicks in and is important again. Hang on just a second, guys. And this is also the beaver moon. And what do beavers do? They build, right? They build dams to stop something from coming through their home. You know, I want to say water, but we don't want to stop the emotions within unless they're the negative emotions, right? But we've also got torch, eternal flame, burning desire. There's the compass with the fire extinguisher, stagnant love, dying passions, communication, reaching out, and the mask, denial, disloyalty, falsehoods, or illusions. There's a lot. This all seems to be tied up into the same emotion with the same relationship or person. And let me see why that communication is there. Because I feel like it's just the fact that they haven't reached out or that this hasn't been resolved and had closure. We've got the Six of Cups, the Four of Swords, the Page of Cups, okay, and the Ace of Wands. So something from the past that needs to still be healed. There might not be an apology or movement forward or a re-spark. I don't mean that. It felt like that was cold to say that out loud, but it's in releasing this, so much weight is going to be lifted. And once you finally do let it go, it's going to be so much better. And it might actually bring in this, but because the energy there, it's kind of like if you're wanting that, you're still pulling on that person's energy, even if you're not in contact. And so they can't miss your energy pulling on them. They will as soon as that's released. And it's not something that you can just, okay, well, I'm releasing. If your insides don't match what you're saying outside, then that's not the same type of surrender and release. It's difficult. It takes so long. So long. Let's get one of these cards out. What changes can be brought in once this is released? The honoring path. So it opens up that new path, like we've said. Loss and true love. Okay, see, true love's coming in, but this loss has to be let go of. And see, he actually untied the boat and let the boat go, because whatever's meant to be yours will always be yours. It cannot be taken away by another person or anything else. That being said, everybody has free will, so it could be delayed, but you don't want to be like waiting and making your path stagnant whenever it's so much. Yeah, so much wants to come out here, and I just feel so bad. I just want to cry for whoever this is. I've been here. It's an extremely painful thing to go through. Why is true love here with the honoring path? The Magician, the Tower, the Page of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. Yeah. That's my second least favorite. And I kind of feel like once that Ten of Swords is done, right? It's like once you've released that, the 10 resets to a 1, which is truth and clarity. There's no more pain attached to that anymore. It's going to create a tower. It's going to create this new love to come in to manifest in with the Magician and the Page of Wands. The Magician's also one of the Gemini cards too, so that's kind of interesting. Focus moving forward. Whoa, that's too many. Surrender and teachability. Let's see. Hold on. Surrender did make sense. I probably should have kept that. Focus moving forward for the collective, please. Luck and right timing, fortune's will. So letting the wheel turn, going with the flow, right? Ancestral wisdom. That sounds like a lot of the October readings. So 23 and 34. So I think that's just like taking a break from taking conscious steps in action. You know what I mean? I do that too. I like to plan. I like to go. I like to everything to work out with my ducks all rode. My ducks are never rode. In fact, that meme that says that they're actually squirrels at a rave, that's my ducks. My ducks are, they don't listen. They don't listen well. But I really think that that's just saying, hey, step back, go with the flow, let this turn. Because see, this top of this would this be a pendulum or a compass? It looks kind of like a compass. Is almost set to true north. It's like at 11 o'clock, right? And it's almost to midnight. So it's like, give it a second. 1 month that seems to be significant. So maybe 2024 is going to be a whole new world. And that's the 23 card. Yes, 24 is going to be a whole new world. I didn't like the way that those came out. I'm going to look at them though after I see if anything else will come. Yeah, all of these came stuck together. We got courage, professional assistance. Hold on. So your ancestors are working behind the scenes, definitely. And even if you're in a period right now where it feels kind of stagnant and you feel like you can't feel your guides or hear your guides as much as you used to, fragmented energy tried to come out a second ago. So that's definitely commitment. This came out in the Sagittarius reading, behind a mask. So that's a reminder to be authentic, right? Be true to you. Anytime you move forward, take that mask off. If someone can't love you for how you look with no makeup, when you wake up in the morning and look like a troll, they're not your people. If someone can't have your back when you make stupid decisions, I'm not talking to anybody who might be making the same stupid decisions over and over and over and over and over and over and driving their friends crazy. But we know what we mean here. But whenever we hide behind that, and I feel like this person is hiding behind the mask because of this hurt, because of this unfinished symphony and this love that was lost. And it's almost fear-driven. And almost like they thought that if they take this mask off, somebody else will leave or somebody else will do the same thing or won't see them right. Like maybe they think that's the reason this person left, and it's not. The authentic part is what drew this person to you in the first place. And I've got chills head to toe here. Commitment, fragmented energy, the missing piece of the puzzle. And see all the options here? There's so many pieces, and it's almost like trying to figure it out, not going with the flow. The commitment's interesting. I feel like that's a commitment to yourself. Like, why is commitment here? Being committed to what you want and love and boundaries and personal boundaries. Look at this. Akashic records, soul contracts, deep love, unconditional love, an inner wisdom, a deep knowing. Messages found in songs or lyrics, confessions of love. Songs might be speaking very heavily. Complications, restrictions, and self-sabotage with at odds and sunken hopes. So if you feel like you missed your one shot at love, they're saying that is not the case. Like, those boundaries are very important and you've learned the hard way, but it's not a mask type boundary. It's a, this is how you treat me and respect me or you can't be in my life. And that includes being open and vulnerable and not ghosting or not being in and out or breadcrumbing or being scared of dealing with your own healing and your own feelings, right? Which deck do I want? I guess I picked up this one. What's up with this mask? Got the Knight of Cups. Got the Nine of Cups again. The Ace of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. 2 of Pentacles. 8 of Wands. And the Star. I think it, and this might not be the same energy that I was speaking of a minute ago, but it's like, it's almost like somebody thinks if they put this mask on and are complacent with the sugar-coated version of how they are, that's like, that's the way to get to their 10 of Cups. And it's not. In fact, I think it would just bring in a complacency energy or just make this back and forth 2 of Pentacles, like where something can't come in. But what they're saying here, you get the Star all over the place. Could be dealing with an Aquarius or have Aquarius in your chart, but it's like that final act of healing and wish fulfillment and movement here. So it's almost like you take the mask on, off, live in your truth, go with the flow, and everything just kind of works out, which is awesome. Hard to do, but awesome, right? All right, which deck do I want to go now? What else can we add to this focus moving forward that hasn't already been said? Stuck energy. Yeah, that's what's needed to unstick it. Is to not worry about all the puzzle pieces, trying to get that one to fit. And if you are like me and you feel like you need closure, you know, some of you might be ready to reach out and try to get that closure for yourself. Once you know stuff, though, and once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? So just make sure you're in the right spot with that. But the stuck energy here is this mask and not just letting it flow, because it's trying to come in, but it's almost like this blockage because it has to be a certain piece. That's like a focus of outcome now that's coming through for that fragmented energy. Anything else to add to the stuck? And then we'll go on to the advice. Ooh. Yeah, see? This is perfect. Okay. So we've got celebrations, weddings, reunions, reasons to celebrate. The children card, which is like the 6 of Cups, right? It's a very sweet energy, though, and it's like your inner child or childhood dreams or wishes. Focus on self, right? The friend. So that with ancestral wisdom is like your guides are really going to get involved here, but I think that your friends will really be helpful to lean on this time. Now, if you know you're on a spiritual journey and your friends aren't, then that's why we're all here, right? So that we can communicate and bond together, because not everybody's going to understand all of this. But this friend will, and setting things into motion. So as soon as this happens, it's like that piece comes to you. Very nice. I like all that. Okay, let's go on to the advice during the full moon in Gemini. Thank you for being here today, guys. If this resonated, please stick around. You know, subscribe. Come back for more. Love to have you. Look at this. Ooh. And you know what? I only thought one was here, but we've got 2. Netcaster, preparations come to fruition. So that's letting it. You've already prepared. Once you do this focus on moving forward, you can catch anything in that net, right? Beginner's mindset, starting anew. And me talks, repairing the body, mind, and spirit, number 39. So this is a good time to focus on self and focus on moving forward, and just remember this transmuting pain, to transmute, not suppress, and release. Okay. So what about, whoa, okay, we'll just let them do the talking. Whoops. We've got present power and joyous fun, which is kind of like the 10 of Cups and the Strength card. I'm going to put that back in. We got transformation. So it's time to transform. It's time to let things transform. I love this card because it's just so pretty. It really is so colorful and so pretty. What else about the me talks, repairing the body, mind, and spirit? Someone's going to get a good download. It's going to click, and the heaviness is going to be lifted. And I can feel it. It was awesome. Yep, optimism and consciousness of lack, that's going away. Very hard to do. One of the hardest, that's like the 5 of Pentacles energy, right? And it's very hard, and I always laugh whenever I hear readers say stuff like, well, you know, just let go of your conditioning towards money. And we all need to, right? We need to fundamentally change how we look at money and materialism, especially in my country. That's not the important thing, but that is the status quo, and that seems to be what everybody's judged by. And now that we're in this big economical, 2 5s here, crisis going on in inflation, everybody's struggling. If you're not, you know, ultra wealthy or very high up on the tree, you know, you're struggling, or things are costing more. So there's no safety net, or not as big of a safety net to catch yourself if you fall. And you have to pay rent. You have to have food. And so when they're like, don't focus on that, if you can't pay those bills, it's hard to do. But now all of a sudden there's this transformation here. You just trust that everything will work out for your highest good, and keep taking steps to your own healing and moving forward. Yep. Because look at this. It's like runner chaser dynamic. It's like almost like someone is running from what the divine's trying to bring in. Incoming news or information, release, higher perspective. There's that ancestral help and guidance and patience. The bright side, healing and reflection. So that's awesome. Anything else that we need to add to that for the advice? There's the 5 of Cups. So that's similar to the 5 of the consciousness of lack. Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and the Five of... We got 2 5s and 2 9s here, guys. That's crazy. Which actually breaks down to a 5. This Nine of Wands is standing up proud, right? She's not wounded, but she still holds only this one torch. She doesn't want to move out of this place. Maybe it's her safe spot. Maybe she doesn't want to let go of this torch and this flame. Especially with Five of Wands and Five of Cups. Like, I don't want to make any steps that I might regret. I don't want to get in the ring. You know, I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm just going to work hard and focus on myself. But I think once she releases that rod and then focuses and does the work, this Nine of Pentacles comes in. And it's getting back to that spot too, where you feel at peace with where you are in your life. So that space is created for, you know, the fairy tale or the happily ever after or whatever that means for you. All right, final advice for the collective. We'll wrap this up. Whoa. Dream Thief, refusal of the call, number 13. Falling Angel, spiritual narcolepsy. Okay. So there's a couple messages coming through on that. And sometimes if we're tied to another person spiritually, like let's just say the twin flame thing, right? You're on the twin flame journey. And one or more people are refusing the call to this, right? It kind of makes you feel, or might make you feel, that you're in like this spiritual narcolepsy state. Maybe the signs aren't coming through, or they're coming through wrong, or they're not making sense, or you feel like your guides have kind of abandoned you, or what is even the purpose if it's been so dang difficult, right? Then we have movement towards adventure and curiosity. So it's sparking something back to life here. The key is being able to release it, which is one of the hardest things. And for someone, it might feel like as you're releasing it that you're refusing the call as well. Everything will work out, because movement towards adventure, this is like it's like a angel, butterfly, fairy going through this wave, and she turns into a boat, and you know, the divine is just pushing them, which is totally different. It's almost the same image, but different colors and in a different background, basically, of the spiritual narcolepsy, where she's just floating in space, like no direction right there. This person is moving. And so that could be refusal of the call too, the refusal to want to move towards adventure. But whatever is at the end of it is going to really spark your curiosity and reignite that passion within. All right, guys. Well, I'm always rooting for you. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I will be back soon. Take care.